Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Rising Phoenix. And this is a documentary from Netflix that is focused on the Paralympics and putting a spotlight on a lot of athletes who have disabilities. And something that I really liked about this film was this had some energy, and it had a very specific tone it was going for. The beginning of the documentary is boisterous and dramatic and set up all the athletes that they're going to talk about as like real life superheroes. And they went for that tone and that aesthetic, and I really like that, honestly. And they set them up as like, these are impressive superhuman athletes. And it took away that stigma of them having disabilities. Some of them were extremely burned, some of them were missing limbs, and they showed these in-depth little vignettes of each of these athletes where you get to know how they came to this point. You get to see their story of, say, when they had to start dealing with said disabilities. So like when they had to have a limb amputated, or them struggling learning how to do these different sports that they're doing to compete at the Paralympics. And they're really moving stories, and quite a few of them got me very emotional. And they're incredible stories, and I'm glad that they have an outlet for these to be told through this new documentary on Netflix. And you also get a little bit of the history of the Paralympics, how this came about. So you got that historical context on why this particular set of athletic competitions are so important. And as this film progresses and you get to the actual Olympics where these young athletes compete, it's incredible because it has like, this documentary builds like big budget sports movie level kind of tension and excitement in how they shot these scenes of them competing, the energy going in. And in general, it's like, this is a really powerful and inspiring and heartwarming kind of documentary and story. And it was really awesome because a lot of people who have these disabilities are stigmatized. And I feel like this film does them justice in ripping that back and showing them they can do great things. And whether it's watching an archer use his feet for archery, which was incredible to watch, or a young woman doing fencing from a wheelchair, and all these different kinds of things. And the one particular story that blew me away was this guy who did rugby, and they're doing rugby on wheelchairs, and like, they're not pulling punches on each other. They're straight steamrolling each other. Like, rugby's a violent, aggressive sport, and you would think because of stigmas that people with disabilities, it's like they're much more sensitive or would not be able to be in such violent experience of this sport. But no, they go for it, and they're like ramming each other on their wheelchairs. And his particular story, like, he cuts all this weight and he's intense, and they show him on his wheelchair, and like, it's really inspiring. And I was like having moments where I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna win. And there are so many great moments like that in this film, and Rising Phoenix is a really special documentary, and I had a blast with it. And I think it's a really important documentary, especially for people who don't know a whole lot about disabilities, and being able to see these people from diverse backgrounds with all these different kinds of disabilities show that they can still do great things, and things that are way more impressive than things I can do. And it was really inspiring. So I highly recommend checking out Rising Phoenix. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.